to Honest Guide to Building Your First Gaming PC 2025. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Let's be real. Building a gaming PC in 2025 has gotten confusing and expensive. Prices have been changing daily, and there's way too much bad advice. And most guys are either outdated or trying to sell you something. So here's the honest, no BS guide on how to build your first PC from someone who actually builds and flips these every single week. I'm gonna walk you through exactly what to buy, what not to buy, and what actually matters, and how to avoid wasting money, no fluff. Alright, if you've been wanting to build your first gaming PC, but every video you click is either way too complicated, way too expensive, or feels like a sales pitch, this is the video you've been waiting for.
Correct.
No fluff, no brand bias, and no, you need $2,000 budget nonsense. This is the honest, beginner-friendly guide to building your first gaming PC in 2025. What to buy, what to avoid, how not to get scammed, and how to build something you're proud of without blowing your wallet up. If you're new here, I'm Nate, and I build PCs. I also flip them too and break everything down so regular people like you can save money and still get insane performance. Let's get to it. First, here's the truth. You only need 7 parts to build a gaming PC. The CPU, the motherboard, the GPU, the RAM, storage, power supply, and case. That's it. Half the people stress over RGB fans, AIO coolers, custom cables. Those are all optional. They're just icing, not the cake. If you're a beginner, focus on performance first, aesthetics second. You can always upgrade later. Now, let's talk CPUs. This is the brain of your computer. There are only 2 recommendations that I give for beginners for 2025 PC building. So for your budget around $150, I would recommend AMD Ryzen 5 5600. It's the best value chip for under $120, and I wouldn't recommend any AM5 builds because the DDR5 prices are skyrocketing right now because of certain presidents I don't want to say the name of and their tariff plans. Blame him, everybody. Blame the orange guy, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for budget building gaming computers. You want to find good prices? You're gonna have to search for them. If you want to buy brand new RAM, it is gonna be pretty pricey, so I would recommend at least going used on the RAM. You can buy a semi-used and new PC, but if you want to go all new, go all out. Next, for the Intel side, I will go with the i5-12400F. It's super efficient and very stable. Now, if you have a higher budget, I will go with the AMD Ryzen 5 7600 and the Intel i5-13400F. And here's the no BS truth. You do not need a high-end CPU to game. You mostly need a high-end CPU to do multiple tasks such as streaming, recording, video editing, and also graphic design, and maybe 3D rendering. Games use way more GPU than CPU, so I would be spending more money on my GPU than my CPU if I were just going to be doing gaming or regular computer work. But if I'm going to be doing high intensity tasks, I'm going to be spending a little bit more money on my CPU. So if you're stretching between a Ryzen 7 versus a Ryzen 5, stop. Get the 5 and put that money to your graphics card. This is where 80% of your gaming performance comes from. Here are the GPU picks I recommend depending on your budget. Now, under $250, I would go with the RX 6600 and for NVIDIA, the RTX 3050, only if the price is low. Now for the next tier, $300 to $400, I will go with the RX 7600 or the RTX 4060. And if you have a little bit more room for $400 to $600, I will go with the RX 7700 XT and the RTX 4060 Ti or higher. Here's the next no BS rule. Don't buy a GPU because someone said it's future proof. Buy based on what you're actually going to play. If you play Fortnite, Valorant, Apex, COD, most of the common video games, any of these GPUs will crush 1080p or 1440p gaming. If you're just going to be doing esports, you don't need more than 8 gigabytes of VRAM, to be honest. Next up for motherboards. Motherboards are confusing because there's a million options, but here's the truth. They do not affect your FPS, and they only affect features such as Wi-Fi, gigabit LAN, USB-C, and a bunch of ports that you see on the back of the motherboard. Here's how to pick the right one. If you go AMD AM4 B550 motherboard, done. Now if you go AMD AM5, the B650 is the best value. Now if you go Intel 12 or 14 gen, B660 or B760. The only things to check: does it support your CPU? Does it support your RAM speed? Does it have Wi-Fi if you need it? Something else, don't overthink it. Now for RAM, storage, and the PSU. let's rapid fire the rest. So for RAM, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 or DDR5, or 32 gigabytes if you really feel like it if you're on AM5. If you edit a video or stream, then I would recommend 32. Now for storage, get an NVMe SSD. Now the difference between an NVMe SSD and a SATA SSD is primarily their interface. The design of the SATA and the NVMe SSD is a little bit different, and the NVMe SSD usually gives lower latency and higher speeds. And now for the power supply, this one matters more than people think. You want something 80 plus bronze or better so it doesn't blow up on you. Something between 550 watt to 700 watts for most GPUs. For the ones I listed, you won't need more than 1,000 watts. Stick with Corsair, EVGA, MSI, or Seasonic, and another good brand is Ares Game. They're doing pretty well right now. Cheap PSUs can kill PCs, so don't go bottom barrel here. Next up, for cases, they don't affect performance, mostly. So here's what to look for. You're looking for good airflow, kind of like a mesh front, and at least 2 to 3 fans included, just so you don't have to spend an extra $50 on a 6-piece fan kit. You need a clean layout, some easy cable management, and a few good beginner cases that I would recommend is the Montech Air 100 or any Montech series cases, the NZXT H5 Flow, the Corsair 4000D, and the Deepcool CH370. Pick based on your style: white, black, RGB, non-RGB, minimal, whatever fits your setup. Now, if you want to look for these certain PC parts to make it easy for you and you want to find some of these PC parts, they will be in the link in the description, so go check them out. Now, here's what some people do wrong. Let's talk about the biggest mistakes beginners can make. First off, when they're building the computer, is breaking the parts. I've had so many people the past few days telling me that they've been breaking their parts, but sometimes parts just go bad or people aren't just careful with their things. When it comes to building computers, yes, it takes a little bit of effort, but you just have to be super careful, especially when it comes to your CPU. And if there's pins on your CPU or your motherboard, you just have to be very careful. When I built my first PC, I wasn't that scared because I watched tons of YouTube videos, but you can literally watch YouTube videos. I made a video about making a gaming PC. You can watch it here. And building a PC in 2025 is actually easier than you think. A few mistakes that people make is spending too much on the CPU and not knowing what they need the CPU or the GPU for. Another mistake that most people make is buying a bad power supply and then messing up the entire system. So if you don't want your PC to go kablooey, make sure you get a good decent power supply. Next, getting a motherboard that doesn't support their CPU. I know it would suck to buy the wrong motherboard when you already have all the parts for the PC, then to not be able to build the PC. So just do everything right the first time and you'll be thanking yourself later. Stressing over RGB over performance, it's not worth it. I would suggest going minimal, see how you like it, and then adding on RGB later. Or maybe just buying it, building your PC, see what it looks like without it, and then just seeing what you want to do from there. Thinking the build needs to be perfect. Your first PC does not need to be perfect. It just needs to work. It just needs to work. And it will if you follow this guide step by step. Now, this guide is not how to build your PC. I have a video on how to do that, but this is a guide on how to find the parts for the PC. If you guys want to find the video on how to build the PC, I will link it down below and I'll also add it to the card at the end of the video. Now, this is the question everyone asks. Should you buy or build a PC in 2025? And here's the no BS answer. If you enjoy learning and want the best value, build it. If you're scared to mess up or you need a PC right now in this very moment, go get a pre-built from a trusted brand or a trusted company. But building gives you the best performance, and for the money, you learn a skill that saves you thousands long term. If you want a step-by-step build video, make sure to follow this card or go to the link in the description and let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this no BS guide on how to find some PC parts in 2025, make sure to like the video and let the algorithm know that you enjoy videos like this. And if you also like me or my channel, you can hit subscribe and you can also turn on post notifications to see when I drop my next video. I drop PC guides, deal breakdowns, and gaming tech, and I also plan to make gaming videos. So if you want to see that, like the video, subscribe, and check in the description because I usually have a lot of things down there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy Thanksgiving as well. I know it just passed. I appreciate every single one of you guys that's been watching my videos the past few days. I enjoy all the comments, especially from TikTok. So if you guys want to see more videos, make sure to hit the like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been Nate, and peace.
Ever follow